What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hope everybody's doing all right. A lot of things going on. There's always a lot of things going on, but what you focus on is what you focus on is what you're gonna see, and what you see is what you're gonna be. So that said, be mindful to be focusing on the right things. Anyway, I'm just waiting on my co-host. Just waiting. Hope everybody's doing all right. It's election season, so everybody's ramping up the shenanigans and everything. I hate it, but that is the double-edged sword about living in a republic. Whoop. When you live in a republic, you are responsible for what goes on. The thing is, Americans want a king. They want a king and a royal delegation. That's the problem. So, we all have a responsibility that we're not living up to as citizens of this nation. But I don't know. Anyway, my co-host has arrived, and let me see if I can request.
What's up?
Hey, what's going
How you
on?
feeling? Good.
Good. You?
I'm good.
How you feeling?
I'm hanging in there. Hanging in there.
That's good. Keep hanging.
That's racist.
What's the race? Oh, hey, you got me. You got me. That's a good one. Anyway, it's still raining up there. It was raining last time we talked.
No, it actually stopped. It was raining from Monday to Thursday morning straight, and
Yeah.
then Friday was the earthquake that I didn't feel for whatever reason.
Is everybody talking about it?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, on social media, I don't see them in real life, so I don't know.
So after 2020, did everybody just go into hiding or something like that? You don't see people no more?
I do, but a lot of people cut me off for my politic views, so and I'm telling them to stay there.
You think it's
I don't know. Maybe I'm a little mean, but
so? Did they cut you off or you cut them off?
they cut me off. I could
Somebody.
care less if you could if I'm cool with you and you vote for Biden in 2024 now. I'm talking about again, after everything that we've been through as a country, I can still be cool with you. I'm not one of those people. I don't judge people for having different religion or different politics. Not, but if I feel like you attack me or you want to block me or you want to disconnect from me or come at me or attack me or talk about my dead family members or you want to do stuff now, that's it. I don't know. That's just me.
We got the Spanish speaker.
Huh?
Vaya. Moreno. Ar, Ardente. Encantaría.
Something about black and love.
Ori.
I guess they love black people. I don't know.
Carnio. Carnio. I can't read that. No, no, I don't. I can't read. I can speak Spanish and read a little bit. It says something about um. It says a black. I don't know what that means.
Love.
Me, me cantaría.
Duncan, where you at?
Oh, I don't
He's
know.
Dominican, so he could have interpreted that whole thing.
Yeah, I could. Like I said, I can read a little Spanish. I can speak a little Spanish, but today ain't the day. Anyway, so
You think that's mean if people fall out from 2020 over COVID and politics and everything in that retrospect, and you know
well,
if somebody cuts you off in general, somebody cuts you off or they say attacks to you and things like that, you're supposed to just be cool with them again?
Well, I thought about it, and it wasn't people that really just blatantly cut me off. People were keeping their distance because of fear, and they knew where I stood. They knew that I was open and vocal about the whole thing was a bunch of BS. And the thing that kind of makes me mad is that after it was all said and done, nobody said, "Hey, you were right." No, nobody said that.
Exactly. So similar to you with my situation, like I'll even have people come up to me like, and they'll see me make a face, like they're not saying nothing, I'm not saying nothing, and they'll be like, "Come on, you still got a problem with me?" That's even worse because okay, it's one thing that you don't take accountability of whatever the situation may have been, and then instead of just saying sorry or hey, can we have a discussion, or you don't have to say particular words, but just something where I know you're about to be accountable, and you just like, oh, you still got a problem with me, you still got beef with me, or I never had beef with you, you have beef with me for thinking differently from you, so I'm just keeping that same energy.
So, do you think that we were more on the offensive, or we were just on the defensive? Because a lot of people clearly said that I don't want to fool with people that got the shot. A lot of people up upright said that, like, and had no bone.
And you're saying that you're understanding them, that they were operating from fear of the unknown, and this was an event that hit the world before we even knew it. So you have some empathy towards that rather than clapping back with judgment
Well,
from your
it
perspective, your actual perspective.
well, in retrospect, it was. I felt a lot of frustration because my thing was like, look at me. I'm living my life fearlessly, and you're over here feeding the narrative, doing everything they're telling you to do, even though it doesn't make sense. Think for 1 second. When they said that rioting and protesting is not going to spread the virus, I was just like, you got to be kidding me. And everybody believed it. Everybody just went with it. I'm just like, are y'all this stupid? But that's the thing. Fear makes you stupid. Fear makes you afraid of things that don't even
You don't
exist.
operate at your regular potential.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
Fear is low. Fear is low vibration. But
it is.
but at the same time, you give in to fear. The thing about courage doesn't mean that there's no fear. Courage is standing up in the face of what you fear. When you say you have courage, that means that naturally something is dangerous or is worthy of being feared. But I mean, it's like a a virus, like really, like, and this it's just the whole fact that you're not paying attention. If this was really deadly, the homeless would just be dying.
Even before the pandemic, because in DC and LA they already had tents prior to March 2020. But you know what it is for me? I can understand fear, but to me that wasn't just fear. The way people, and it's not just in conjunction with the vaccine. It's also political views and religious views as well. Which is, I think you see a bit of my stories the way I'm talking lately, like how people are like, don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion. So it wasn't just a vaccine, and the way that people were acting, it was also acts of being evil, being mean. Like I said, how am I looking at people from Bangladesh and India like, ill, you're not wearing your mask, ill, you didn't get the vaccine, like, ill, you haven't been wearing deodorant for years and years, like, who the hell are you? But it's like people was operating on like being grimy, and it's like, but I'm wrong, what I'm saying, when I give that energy back, like I'm the grimy one, I'm the shiesty one, like I said, I can understand fear because we all have different fear points as human beings, and I get it. The pandemic took everyone by storm. It happened very random. I mean, if you was paying attention to the warnings leading up to it, but just it took the world by storm. It was an ambush worldwide, but like I just feel like people were being mean, like they were being mean, like for having, if you have different views, if you don't want to get the vaccine, and it's, you know, I'm not trying to operate from hate, but it's just like, for me, what people were doing to me on a local level was they didn't want to be associated with me or affiliated with me, and they didn't want to be caught dead talking to me. So that that can't be too much. And that was even starting before the vaccine, before December 17, 2020. That was already, because the election was before the vaccine. So
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like the 2020
yeah.
election was one
The
month. In fact, it's I don't know if this is, if this is conspiracy or December 14. Yeah, it was actually December 14. Every 4 years, December 14 is the day that the Congress makes the official decision of who wins in the presidential election. It's supposed to be December 14 every 4 years. It didn't. It may look like they did that, but they was already on Facebook, even Fox News, like the day after in November. Oh, Biden won. Like that's not normal. That you count the electoral votes and everything, and the Congress makes the final decision December 14. But instead, what happened on December 14 was that was the first day that the vaccine was rolled out. I don't know if that's coincidence, and this was in December 14 of 2020. So to me, my mind is just operating differently. I'm just I don't know.
well, I'm talking about March 2020 when the whole propaganda came out. I don't like to call it a pandemic because it wasn't. What is a pandemic? It's something where that all the population is getting a disease and succumbing to it, and that's not what was going on. The real pandemic was just propaganda,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people were succumbing to that. As far as this virus thing, people don't read, and that's the tragedy of our society. We're getting dumber and dumber because people don't read. Even just watching videos, I don't even think that's I don't even think that's as cognitively stimulating as reading. You know, it's just something about reading that's empowering, and I'm to the point where I can actually read faster than I can listen. Because when I'm watching something, I'm just like, yo, like get to the point, like speed it up. But when I'm reading, I can go as fast as I want to go. So with these things, you know, history. They say that history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. These things were done decades ago. You know, almost a century ago. Even with the Spanish flu, I have an article saying that the Spanish flu was caused by a vaccine. So, you know, I had watched something from. Do you know how to share things on this platform during
I
a live?
do.
You don't.
I think you have to go to. I think you got to share it on your screen. I think.
Um. um
But then I think, see, because the thing, it's not that I don't know how to do it. It's just that if I get out of this screen, I feel like I'm gonna get out. You know.
yeah.
If
All right. Well, it's
you
cool.
want to try,
We can try it later because I tried to stream on YouTube and it said I can't stream for another 24 hours. I don't know why, but that's just what it
like
said.
screen, like share your screen.
No stream, go live.
Oh,
YouTube.
okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me go live on YouTube, so that's why I was just like, man, screw it. But I was watching this thing about Dave Chappelle when he was 17. He was rapping about AIDS and it was like some kind of like skit. And I was just like, look at Dave Chappelle pushing propaganda even back then. So he was talking about how people with HIV and AIDS need I think it's AZT. AZT was the miracle drug back then that was going to save everybody from AIDS and whatnot. And what actually happened was a lot of people were actually dying from the AZT instead of the HIV. You know,
Wow.
HIV is the way they test it is just like they test for COVID. So like they may test me and I may test positive for HIV. But what does that mean? It means absolutely nothing
False positive.
because because it doesn't exist. Now AIDS exists. AIDS is real. but HIV it doesn't exist, and there's plenty of papers to say that.
Is that
I
why they
just
say like with Magic Johnson that he's good, like he's clear? I mean, I know a lot of they would say, "Oh, he's a basketball player. He got the money, so he got the treatment." I even heard people try to be like, "Oh, he's seen Dr. Sabi on the low." You know what I'm talking. All these things that people were saying over the years of Magic Johnson.
yeah.
I've even heard people say he never even had it. All these different
Well, how
things.
can you have something that don't exist?
Duncan, can you interpret?
Mi perro mi puedes mostrar los grandes los adultos son huevos. Quiero ama- amantar con leche de pasto.
Something about adults and milk.
Yeah, I know. It says the big monsters, the adults, and the kids. I don't know what that means with leche, with milk,
Right.
and I don't know. Mi perro. I forgot what perro means. Mi
Or
puedes.
or because depends on how it's used in the
Oh,
sentence.
perro. No, that's dog. Perro is like dog is
Oh, with two R's.
I don't know. But
Wake up.
thank you for putting that because you actually challenging me. I appreciate that. Anyhow,
Duncan. Something about milk.
yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, yeah. So,
Yeah. Wake up.
but I'm just I'm just like the. It's so important to stay humble because when you're not humble, you're stuck in your own way. And 2020 is when I learned so much about everything that I'm interested in. I learned about people. I learned about health science. I learned how to do things that I never really took the time to learn how to do because I had time. So the thing
Live. Wake up.
the thing about people, I think that was the most important. I got to really see how people are and how they operate when their back is against the wall, and it was just bad. And
Street people too. I had to throw that in there. Like just people I wouldn't do a crime with.
you said what?
Street people.
You
Like
said
people that you just know not to do a crime with.
I-
Live. Wake up.
I'm not criminal minded, so I
Me
don't even think about that.
neither, but I just wanted to say that
Okay, well, hey,
because it goes hand in hand.
yeah.
Like I'm
Did you?
talking about like cooperating and just giving in without doing your own, like having a backbone without being solid. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
because I'm
You see your
square, but I'm just saying I understand that. Wake up.
boy got caught up. You,
Oh, much
did,
love for Iraq.
did you see your boy got caught up?
Oh, wait, I thought you were talking about this. Who?
Your boy, the fresh and fit dude.
Oh yeah, that's something great to talk about since we're going to be talking about dating.
Well, I told you those guys are
Did you
hypocrites.
get a chance to look into it by any chance?
No, I don't care because those guys I don't listen to them. They're hypocrites. All this all this capping about how they won't talk to certain girls. These dudes have no game. They're not cool. So they're gonna talk to anybody that gives them play. They just are.
Them or
These
their followers and subscribers, or just pretty much same difference, right?
no, I'm talking about them.
Them.
Yeah,
They're
them.
subscribers too, though.
Nah, their subscribers are just young men that are impressionable that don't really know who they are.
Listen, I've been on Fit's page or Unplugged Fit, commenting and replying, and the way that these men come after me, it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
What did they
Like
say?
I'm talking about even one of them has even went as far as to go through my pictures and look at a picture of me and a baby and my family and say, where's that baby's father? Like, I'm talking about, they was doing weird stuff and attacking me and calling me a feminist just because I'm responding and saying how I feel.
Well,
Their followers are on the same caliber as them. That's why it's easy for them to subscribe to them, because they can highly relate.
well, I don't know those
And I
people,
always
so
said that when the manosphere goes down, whether that be, and this is not Kevin Samuels, I'm talking about like Fresh and Fit, Andrew Tate, and their affiliates. I'm not going to put them on the same. Not gonna affiliate them with the Democrats and the liberals. I'm gonna put them on the Republicans and the right and the conservatives and the red pills. That's they're all in one bubble. When they go down or whatever happens, that's on the right,
what makes you say that?
because they endorse them pretty much. They enable them, because the thing is, they're having this ideology to their viewers, saying things like, um, you know, at first when they wheezed in to begin with, it was all about how they're combating feminism. And I remember my first episode that I watched. I don't know, it might have been the very first episode or whatever, but it was a woman. I think her name was Black China, or not Black China, Asia Doll something, whatever, but she was over talking them and she was being rude to them on their platform. So those initial episodes to begin with, it was just like they're wheezing in, like, how to demand respect as a man and not have people like women disrespect you, and they were combating feminism. So I was cool with that. And they were pretty much like an offspring of like Kevin Samuels at that point in time. But then they just went left. They just went left. They just like, oh, we don't like women that have children, and oh, we don't like black women. They were just doing all these kinds of things that were getting closer and closer to them showing degenerate behavior. So I knew for a fact that they'll have all these black chicks on their show, even though they don't like black women. But when they was having their yacht parties, when they're going on jets, when they're going on parties and all those things, they don't have black women there. And they're okay. That's a preference. Okay, cool. When they say that they don't like women with children, Tristan Tate um, was dating this lady from Romania that has a daughter. She looks like plastic surgery to the core. It's like, what I'm getting to the point of is they were telling their audience, their viewers and subscribers, like, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. She's a 304. Da, 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 da. Even Mediocre Tutorial, he falls in that caliber. Um, these guys started just spewing out rhetoric where it seems like they just hate women. It's disgusting. And then I started to have the assumption, which I think I'm right, if they're talking about they don't like women with children, I came to a conclusion like almost 2 years ago, seeing that how much that they rotate women or have all these parties and whatever, and these are men of high status, they're high value men, they have all the money, they're very worldly, so they can touch anything that they want to touch in the world. I started to think like, okay, so they don't like women with children, so are they having sex with all these different women and telling them to get abortions? So then I see that we're here now with Fresh. He's with that Asian lady, and she put him on blast. And then, like, in the audio, he's telling her to get an abortion. So weren't you telling these men to be righteous and be responsible, take accountability? But then when she's telling you that she's pregnant, you're like, oh, take the pill. That's not cool.
Which pill?
That's what I'm saying. Because she was like, I can't do that right now. They're like, I'm already pregnant. I can't take that pill right now. That's what she was saying.
Which pill?
That's what I'm saying. Like, actually, it has to. He talk. You know what? He he's talking about the abortion pill.
Okay.
Yeah.
3486.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the plan B. Plan B is not an
That's done. That's what she was saying. Like, that's done. So the abortion pill.
yeah, plan B. People think plan B is an abortion pill. It's not.
No, it's a preventative.
Yeah, if you're pregnant,
Within the 48 hours of you getting it in.
yeah, plan B only it prevents implantation.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, if you pregnant already, then good
That's
luck.
established.
Yeah, it ain't. In fact, it's gonna increase the pregnancy
Well,
because
that's what he was telling. He was telling her in that audio, like, take a pill, and she was like, "Oh, so you want abortion?" And he was like, "Yeah." He was telling her, his money's not right. He's about to lose one of his jobs. I don't know which job he was talking about. And just basically lacking accountability.
Yeah.
The same accountability that you tell your viewers as men to have. And this is the hypocrisy that everybody talks about when they say that they're hypocritical.
Yeah. That's the thing. You can't. People abuse sex, and I'm not. I'm not a prude. You know, I don't. You know, we've talked about this topic before, and you know, my point of view is not the typical point of view, but you know, this thing about just having sex with anybody, you know, it's wrong on so many levels. Because you know, for me, if I am with a woman that I don't trust that can be the mother of my children, I shouldn't be screwing her. You know, whether I have a condom or not, you know, it's just not a good thing. And the way people just kind of are loose with it, I don't know, but you know, people really need to stop giving into their those primitive desires that they have. You know, we're not animals. You know, this dialogue that you and I.
The way human beings, you would think at this point,
You said what?
the way people are so weak, the way human beings are so weak and they give into their cravings and desires, like, you know, quickly without even thinking.
Yeah,
Animals.
yeah, and I think for our generation, a lot of us behave like that though. What do you think? Why is that?
Hypersexual culture.
When did this happen? Like,
Like rampantly, the way that we literally see it now, I would
we're in
say,
our 30s, and people have been getting down like this since we were in our 20s.
yeah. But now it's just like, I don't know, or maybe it's the technology that's, you know, but I guess it has been quite a while.
You think rap music has anything to do with it?
Sure. Hypersexual culture, rap culture, it intertwines. It's
Yeah,
not just only the black culture or the hip hop genre, but it intertwines.
yeah. Rap culture is
It
hypersexual,
is.
and it's sad too because sex is actually a beautiful thing when it's done in the correct context. But the way we just bastardized it, and
Exactly.
so I don't know, it's just out of hand, and it's all over the place too. But then everybody complains about it.
That's why I stay away from it. Well, not I stay because I don't. I see the hypersexual culture, and I just don't want to be part of it. It throws me off,
So have you ever been with a man that you just knew that's all he wanted to do?
and I went along with it.
Yeah.
Have I? Yeah, I've done it before.
So
Because I'm more relationship based. That's what I try to do. I can't control the man. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But even if I thought that in the back of my mind, that's what he wants. Because
So
I
what
guess
is
the
that?
men make the decision with relationships and marriage, right? So
I don't know anymore because women, women choose the men that they're with.
sexually or relationship wise.
Everything. Remember that joke I sent to you about how was your day? It was good,
Mm-hmm.
and I was talking about how communication is the first step to intimacy. So you control who you open up to.
I don't know.
I can
I'm a little rusty in this department. Sorry.
No, it's not. You're still a woman. I can shoot my shot at you all day, but if you keep shooting me down, I mean, what power do I have? You're talking about I have the power for a relationship and marriage. If I ask you to marry me, you say no, then you have the power. What y'all don't understand is men are naturally gonna like y'all just because y'all are women. That's how God made it. God made y'all
Does that still exist?
yes. God made y'all beautiful. God made y'all graceful. God made y'all elegant so y'all can get ours attention. So y'all are always gonna attract a man. That's just how it is. even when y'all think y'all are ugly, a man's gonna see you and be like, damn, like she bad. So I don't. I think what it is though, y'all try to project. What the hell is this? Somebody's requesting. I'm not. I'm not gonna. But
Who is it? It's not the general, is it?
I don't know. I don't care. I'm not. I'm not gonna accept. But what was I gonna say about
Not
sheesh.
even if you. I don't. I think you were about to say because you cut it off, but I think you were saying that a man is gonna like a woman even if she thinks she's ugly, and then you were saying that a woman thinks, and then you stop there.
Oh yeah, y'all project,
Or maybe it's our insecurities. I don't know if you were gonna say something like that.
y'all project y'all's mindset on us.
Mm-hmm.
See the thing with the thing that I've come to realize is that when a man has sex with y'all, somehow it validates y'all.
I'm sorry. Liv, 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 wake up. Liv, Liv. What is this? Liv.
Everything good?
I'm sorry, my bad.
Everything good over
Mm-hmm.
there? Troubling?
My daughter uh sleeping. I was waking her up. She got to go with her dad.
Oh, okay. But what I was saying is, when a man has sex with y'all, it's kind of like y'all are validated. Everything y'all do, your behavior, your look. Because then, if a man says, "I don't like this," what is y'all's comeback? Well, you sleeping with me, so you don't seem to have a problem with it.
Yeah,
So when y'all,
and that gets misinterpreted.
yeah, because for men, we don't see sex like that, and it's sad. It's sad, but for
We're
men,
wired differently.
yeah, for men, it's just like eating or taking a piss, and it shouldn't be, but that's just kind of how that's just kind of how we're. I'm not gonna say we're wired like that, but we have a propensity to be like that. So, but that's something that y'all don't understand. Y'all think that if a man is screwing y'all, that means he likes y'all, and that's that's really not the case. And that's why when y'all behave that way, when y'all behave like men, y'all always lose
Exactly.
because y'all always are gonna end up falling in love with the man that y'all are sleeping with. So so many women think that you can have more than one guy. First of all, that's boredom, but there's always gonna be one
It
that you
be
like.
women like they be real slick, like using dudes for money. Oh, I'm not going 50-50 with them, and it just all this stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm just weak, but I don't have that mindset.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's weak. Maybe just principled. Yeah, maybe you have morals and standards.
But even still, it didn't work because the guys don't like me. So It's
That's a
not like if they see that, like, because I'm not somebody like I don't expect you to splurge your money on me.
hold on,
Not saying I don't know
hold
how to explain it.
on. You
Hmm.
said the guys don't like you. What guys?
Just whoever I've dealt with.
Why? Who broke up with them? You or them?
It depends.
Uh,
I
nah,
love you. Bye.
nah, don't start that. Like, who broke up with them? You or them?
It depends.
Depends on
Well,
what.
my baby daddy broke up with me. I've broken up with, you know, I don't know. I'm a little different.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
you mean, Duncan
yeah.
cheated?
Exactly. You did. Like, I don't.
No, I didn't. Not all the time.
How many times?
I've broken up with. I mean, I did get away a few times.
Pretty girls get along a rope.
Well, I'm not one of those pretty girls. I don't
All
operate.
right.
I don't know if you noticed by now. Well, I don't expect you to know me, but I don't operate off my looks, or I don't think I have pretty privilege.
It doesn't matter.
Why?
It doesn't matter what you
What you
think.
mean? Yes, it
It
does.
doesn't. Like, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. Like, how you perceive. You can't help how you perceive.
Well, I'm pretty, but I'm a sweetheart. So being a sweetheart, and there have been times I've been naive as a female. So that the being naive and being kind-hearted outweighs my looks to be so that that I could be taken advantage of or be played games on because I'm kind and I'm empathetic and I'm a sweetheart. So that out put it like this: I'm not cocky and arrogant. If I was cocky and arrogant or like a diva or a bad chick, I have the looks for that, but that's not my soul. That's not how I operate. I'm a sweetheart. I'm a giver. I'm kind. So that I get taken advantage of for that. Wait, what you mean? Yeah, nah. You know what? Duncan, where was you at when the Latino was speaking Spanish on here? We needed you to interpret. Where was you at?
Well, just saying. Like, I learned that. I learned that people are going to perceive you how they're going to perceive you. So, like
It hasn't been good. I'll tell you that. I know I'm good. I'm a good person, but I'm saying it hasn't worked. And I think that's why, like, if you notice in my stories, I just be going off and just talking shit. I think I'm just like fed up and pissed off because I don't know the way people treated me. Like I can't make things up, and I'm not trying to play victim. I'm not trying to I'm a sweetheart, and I'm saying good women get, and I don't care if I sound like a feminist when I say this. Good women tend to get treated like shit, but it's also a matter of what type of men did we choose. We also, as women, have to be responsible for that too. So
well,
it
I,
goes both ways.
that's a, yeah, that's a blanket statement to say that good people get treated like crap. You get treated. You teach people
I
how to.
say good woman. I'm not.
I know what you.
That's a different topic.
I,
Like if we
I,
talk about all people.
I heard what you said, but I think I'm I think I'm a halfway decent person, and people didn't treat me right. People, in fact, to this day, people don't treat me good. But it is what it is. I mean, there's some people that do treat me good, but I can't focus on the people that don't. And and to be honest with you, the people that don't treat me good, I don't think it has anything to do with my character. It's just them. They're just a piece of shit, or they're just overly selfish. I know somebody that always complaining about how tired they are for being there for everybody, and I'm just like, who the hell are you there for? Like, you selfish as hell. But then they're gonna come back and be like, well, everybody I deal with, I'm tired, and I'm just like, you never done shit for me at all. Like, when have you ever done anything for me? Like, what are you talking about? And they're like, well, you never asked. I'm like, I shouldn't have to ask. Like, you
It's
should.
funny you mention when you say that you shouldn't have to ask. Can you give a little example of that? Like, would that be like in a relationship or a friendship, familyhood, or
Anything in general. If you're a person that's concerned with the matters of others, you're just gonna be looking for opportunities to bless other people. Like, if I know your favorite color is, hold on, let me guess your favorite color. Um, blue, purple. All right. I give
Why
up
do you say
anyway.
blue? Because the way my thing is set
I
up.
don't know. I just guessed.
No, blue is totally not my favorite color.
Is it red?
Green,
Green?
green. Yeah,
Hey, green. That's my least favorite color.
I love green.
But
Green, orange, and black.
uh,
And I love red too. Huh?
those are weird combination.
No, it's not.
But anyway, so if I know
So
your
you
favorite
feel
color,
like if not to, sorry to cut you off. Like let's say if they're friends, I'm gonna talk from a friend perspective. If a friend has a birthday or a baby shower, should their friends throw a party for them or a baby shower for them, in or is it entitled to expect that? Or let's say if friends take out a friend for their birthday and they all pay, and they all make the friend pay, and everybody splits the bill. Is that cool, or should they pay for the friend because it's their birthday that they took out?
if I took you, if I take you out anywhere that and it was supposed to be my treat, I'm supposed to take care of it. If you didn't ask, then I'm supposed to take care of it. And that's the thing about people. People don't know how to give. What I'm saying is, if your favorite color is green, and I was at the store, I saw a shirt that says "Lydia's the greatest." What's up, Leatherface? If I saw a green shirt that said "Lydia's the greatest," and I didn't get it just because, like, well, I was like, man, I don't feel like getting it, and I had all the means to get it. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like something like that could have made your day. It's just a shirt. I'm
And
sure.
that's friendship
Yeah,
or any type of kinship, any type of
yeah.
uh,
Any type of familiarship or whatever they.
whatever, right? And because for me, I think I don't know what friendship is, and I don't know what a relationship is. I'm not saying that I've never been in one, but I don't know if I've had high expectations. But when I hear you say that, like, you know, because I'm just one of those people, like, I don't know how it feels to have like a surprise birthday party. I don't know how it feels to have certain things, and I think it shows in my personality the way I'm, like, kind of aggy. um but it's good to know that I don't know if that's like the southern hospitality. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's good to know that there are people like that exist in the world. If that, like, if what you're saying is like, oh, your favorite color is green, or oh, you love white chocolate macadamia cookies, and I bought you that just because it's Tuesday, and like, if that exists, I mean, that's a beautiful thing. um but I don't know. I'm still learning, through this world, like what relationships are, whether it be friendship or, I don't know, being in a relationship with a man. I'm still learning. So,
Well, the things you do for your daughter. What?
my daughter,
Yeah, the things you do for you love your daughter, right?
yes,
So what things do you do for your daughter?
similar to what you just said. Like, I know what she likes, like her favorite candy bar, or there'll be times where it's not even her birthday or Valentine's or Easter. It'll just be any, like, sometimes I'm shopping and I'll get her like a few things, get it thrown in a gift bag, give it to her. I like to go traveling with my daughter. Um, like Easter, because we've been doing a lot of spring cleaning. Even now, we're still switching things around and stuff like that. So it wasn't a day for me to cook on Sunday last Easter. It was just, I took her out to eat. We went out to eat. We shared a 7-layer chocolate cake dessert kind of thing, and um, I get her Shirley Temple drink that she loves, that I put her onto, and I don't know, just different things. Or we'll go to the beach. That's she's my heart. I do everything with my daughter. It's funny you mentioned that because she actually taught me how to love.
You know what I said last time about women don't learn how to love until they have a child.
Yeah, that's huge. That's factual. But I feel like if I ever get into a relationship again, because of how I am with her, this situation taught me, like, if I'm with a man, how to. I mean, don't I was already giving since I was yay high, but not companionship. I don't know what the right word is, but whatever it is that I have with her and how I feel obligated to do for her, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just, I think I'll be better next time around with a guy, even though I'm still learning myself, if that makes sense. Like, not learning, I know myself, but I don't know myself in a relationship. I don't see where, because like I said, I've been out of the game for 3 years. So
Yeah. Well, see,
yeah, my daughter, all the things that she likes, you know, but that's my daughter. Aren't mothers supposed to do that to their daughters?
well, I'm just saying that's love. That's just an expression of love. So,
Hmm.
um, if I remember one time, when we were graduating from college, and we were trying to figure out which direction to go. I was I was at this athletic facility, and there was a former baseball player there, and my homeboy, he was a college baseball player, and just trying to figure out what to do. He was trying to get to the minor leagues. So when the guy told me that he was a former Major League Baseball player, I called my homeboy. I'm like, hey man, come up here, man. There's a former baseball player here. Maybe you can pick his brain and see what to do, just something like that. I could have just been like, well, whatever, but and nothing came of it. But it's just the thought of I want to see my homeboy succeed. So I just it's just a phone call. I'm like, hey, what you doing? I ain't doing nothing. I'm like, man, come up here to the gym, man. There's a baseball player here. He may have something for you. He may not. I don't know, but it's up to you. Just stuff like that.
So is that
Just looking.
like a real friendship?
Nah, we're friends to this day.
That's a real friendship though. Like is that like an example of what friends should do for one another?
Well,
Or is that just your
that's what
opinion?
I would want people to do for me. It's like the Bible says, give and it'll be given unto you. So the things that I want the most are the things that I give. And I haven't really been in relationships with women that have that same mindset. Like all the relationships, I'm not gonna say all, but many of the relationships I've been in, like the women were selfish. And I'm not just gonna paint myself to be like I was without fault. There was some things that I probably did that they didn't like, but I was always trying to look for excuses to give them things, because I like giving people gifts. I like seeing people happy. If I'm talking to somebody, it's like they say stuff like, I really want this, so I always wanted this or that. They just say it, casually. They might say, when I was a kid, I always wanted this and I never could have it. That's an opportunity for me to be like, well, I can get that easily. So that, just stuff like that. So, there, and that's not a Southern thing. That's, it's not, because like I said, I'm in the South, and, I don't really meet a lot of people that are like that.
I think just me being an up north chick, I think I'm at that stage in my life where I have a stigma up north, even though I represent it. Don't ask me what that's about. I'm a little flip flop as a person, but I don't know. When I'm in the South, the energy is always nice.
Are there churches where you're at?
Yeah,
So how the church people there?
I have no clue because it's been a while.
Why don't you find out? Because see, that's the thing. Like these days, I don't even really care about being black or being whatever. I don't care about all that. For me, it's all about being a good believer. Because that's really how I identify myself now. If you try to do things to be black, you're never gonna. It's not gonna pay
You're not
any.
gonna see outside that box.
It's not gonna pay any kind of dividends. It's just an empty investment. It's like throwing money into a deep abyss. You're just gonna keep throwing money and money until you're empty. Then you're just gonna jump in the hole. But
And believe me, I'm still climbing out the hole.
yeah,
But that was my choice. I'm not blaming the black community. I'm just saying I'm still climbing out.
yeah. So
I made a choice. So
yeah, because when we start talking about this race thing, it's like everybody's the same. You talking about the white man does this, or the black man does that, or the Mexican man does this, or the Asian man does that. It's all the same. It's all the same thing. But you know, we're trying to transcend to a level beyond the flesh, and that's where we can really connect with people, and it be a substantial connection. For instance, when you're in a relationship or a friendship with somebody, and you do something, you make an offense against them. maybe on accident, or maybe it was in a heated argument, will they forgive you? That's actually a spiritual thing. That's actually a spiritual principle, forgiveness. Will you forgive them? And not even forgive them, will you wipe their slate clean as if it never happened? Or instead that, you just keep holding it over their head. So
Wow.
these are you want to surround yourself with people that operate on that level. You don't want to surround yourself with people that operate according to the flesh, because they will always let you down. They will always fail you. So, you might want to look into that. There's no reason why you should just be walking around wherever you are just with nobody to connect with.
I mean, I connect with my coworkers, like uh, these two ladies that I worked with. We have a very good relationship. Um, I don't know. Like, you gotta understand, but I've always been an outsider. So even when I operated in circles, I still wasn't supposed to be in certain circles. You know, I was just existing. So
I understand. I always been different. I always been an outlier, but I still have my people that I connect with. They always keep me grounded. So I don't know.
I told you, I think it's just I'm just over this place. I'm just I
Well,
think I'm operating in a conditioned response.
yeah.
I think, and maybe I'm a negative Nancy, and maybe I need to check myself, or maybe I need to get checked. But
Well, there are 50 states, so there's 49 you can go to.
I know that. I already told you my situation.
Well,
I'm trying to climb out the hole at this point. I'm stuck in the hole.
well, things are not
If I have,
things are
if it gets to the point where I have to jump out the window, then that's what I'm gonna have to do.
things are never as bad as they seem. You know, all we can do is pray for awareness. God puts around us the things that we need to prosper. It's just a lot of times we're so unpeaceful, we're not aware of it. So,
We're surrounded by peace, but not aware of it.
no, we're surrounded by tools that
Oh,
we have so we can prosper, but we're just so unpeaceful, we don't realize what's around us.
yeah. And I would say that's where I mean, I'm thankful for what I have, and that's what I've been focusing on these past few weeks while I'm in the here and the now. So that way I can relax, take it easy, and stop stressing and stop, overthinking. I think you realize that I overthink. Um, I'll go south when I get there because I can't keep the anticipation is killing me, and I'll get there when I get there, even if it means jumping out the window. So
Well, do as the spirit leads you.
that's the main thing that's gonna help me. I truly believe that. No, I know that the spirit is gonna help me. I know that for
Yeah.
sure. That means that even if when I jump out the window, the spirit is gonna be there, if nothing else.
Spirit is with you now. Spirit is there now. Anyhow, so what we cooking today?
So dating and relationships, battle of the sexes, um, the influencers within battle of the sexes, and why do young men tend to lean to the right?
So what you want to eat first?
Hmm. I think we could start with why young men lean to the right.
Okay, so did you watch? Are you familiar with Angel Reese?
Sounds familiar, but no.
She's that LSU basketball player, the one
Okay, okay,
the,
okay.
the one that was crying because she lost.
And
Now,
she's saying like she's been getting attacked along the way.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Can you like kind of touch base on that? Like,
Okay, so last year they were playing in a championship game against a white girl that's really good.
mm-hmm.
And so when the game was won, she was walking off the court, and then she pointed to her finger like this, saying that I got a ring and you don't. So her claim to fame was her taunting that white girl because she's a good player, but she's not as good as the white girl. So her fame just blew up, and she became that chick. She got all sorts of modeling deals. She got a makeup deal. She got so many endorsements. Like I think she was worth like $2 million. That was her NIL. What do you call it? That was her NIL worth. NIL means name, image, and likeness in college. So she was riding that wave. Her Instagram blew up, her TikTok, all that, and she started posting all these thirst traps, and maybe she was posting thirst traps before. I don't know, but she was posting thirst traps. She had went to get a bikini wax, and then she put the mold of her vagina on the camera, and it was just disgusting. So now when she loses, she says that I've been attacked and I've been vilified and I've been sexualized and I've had death threats and blah 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 blah. So she's crying, and everybody, well, not everybody, but the real world is telling her, well, this is what comes with the territory. When you feed into the hype, people are gonna attack you once they get the chance. So, that's just what it is. And then the people that don't live in the real world were saying, well, she's a young woman and she's a young black woman and you shouldn't attack her and this, that, and the other. So I say all that to say this is why young men are leaning right. They don't understand policy still, but socially they're leaning right because they're sick of this. They're sick of this shit. They're sick of feminism. They're sick of women getting away with robbery and murder, and you can't say anything to them. I've said in the past that the ultimate incentive for a young man to excel and achieve in life is a woman. So you got these young men trying to make something of themselves, and there's really no women that they feel that they can bond with because the women either hate them or they're not enough for the women, and then the women can do whatever they want to do and not be held accountable and still end up quote unquote winning, whatever they think winning is. But if you look at it, everybody's losing because everybody's single, or I'll say everybody's legally single because a lot of these chicks are not really single. They go on these trips, they take pictures of their food, and somebody is funding that trip, and they're not including them in those shots. So
It's so crazy because I take trips and I travel, and I get interpreted as somebody like, oh, she's with a nigga or she's with a man or she's no, I'm solo, and not every female that travels is with a dude.
well, I mean, there's an exception to every rule, but the
Okay,
rule
well,
is
I guess I'm the exception
yeah. So
because I'm talking about I drive to the airport and park my car and then I fly out. So
so how is that? Is that fun?
what, driving to the airport
No,
and then flying out?
traveling by yourself.
Flying by myself? Oh, traveling by myself?
Yeah.
Normal.
What do you do by yourself?
I'll go to talking about food. I'll go to different restaurants. I'll go to museums. I'll go to aquariums. I'll go on the beach. I'll go to a hookah lounge. I'll do sightseeing. I don't know. I have fun, or I could just be at the bar in a hotel, whatever, or it could be a resort or try different cultures, different foods, just different sceneries. I just go with the wind. I told you
I can do all,
I'm a free spirit, so
I can do all that at home.
no, 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 no,
If I'm
no.
I'm gonna be by myself. I can do that at home. I'll travel by myself, and that was the most boring
Like,
shit.
talk about good food. It popped up in my memories today. I'm gonna share it on my Instagram stories. Like, when I was in New Orleans, like, everybody knows New Orleans. Like, they have the beignets and they have like gumbo and they have like French Creole kind of foods. But I had like some of the best. I had Creole Italian food in New Orleans. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying that to say, like, I don't know. I just go to different. I try out different cultures, different things. And all beaches ain't the same. All beaches ain't the same. So, and like I say, I travel solo or I travel with my daughter. So, and like I say, when I travel, I drive to LaGuardia. You know, I go through the check through process and everything. Um, and I fly out. The first place I ever flew to by myself was Costa Rica, and then I just got used to it. But I was actually meeting like high school friends there, or friends rather, at the time back before the pandemic, and then I was just ready to just travel the world. But the pandemic happened like a few months after. Costa Rica is beautiful, very beautiful. But I don't know. It's normal to me to just travel by myself because if I don't travel, if I never did it, for example, I would have never known anything. And I love America, but so far, I've only been to like 18 states. In Florida, Miami, I love Miami. There was a time where I was just going to Miami just as if it was only Miami that existed. But then now, this, and my daughter's been traveling to Connecticut.
I remember
So
during COVID, trip to Puerto Rico was like $30.
yeah, uh, Puerto Rico and Miami at the time. I ran to DC instead. I was out in DC. I had a ball.
Yeah, I did.
Went there solo, and I, like, I went like Ethiopian restaurant, Ethiopian hookah lounge. I went to the park in 14th, walking around, sightseeing. I went to a vegan restaurant because I was a vegan at the time. Um, just it was, and then boom, I came back to Connecticut. Everything shut down. Like, I lived the life, like those March 15, 16, 17 days of 2020. You know, I had a ball.
Yeah. Well,
So not whoever's watching, not all women that travel are having sex or having sugar daddies and just traveling, getting flown out. How am I going to get flown out if I'm driving myself to the airport? Doesn't make any sense.
not at all.
Not
But
all. I'm the exception, but I'm not the rule.
there are some. I think that we take social media, we take all these red pill or relationship content, we take it too seriously. We take it as it's the majority of people, and it's just a select group of people that may get down like that. And I'm thankful that most people are not like how people portray themselves on social media. In fact, I would even go on to say that most people are like you and I, just regular,
Regular, simple.
yeah, simple people that just want to be free and live
Because I'm
life.
telling you, I love history. I love museums and I love sightseeing. And I like to be in those places. Like if I go to Austin or if I go to Dallas, and if there's something, I don't know, a museum or a lake, I want to go there because it's either Austin or Dallas. I've only been to Ratchet, Houston so far, but I'm gonna hopefully next year, if not this year, I'll travel. How far is Austin from Dallas? That's like 6 hours.
Oh no, it's
It,
like two
it's 3 hours.
like two and a
Oh,
half. Two,
so I could probably do both then.
yeah, yeah,
Probably.
yeah. Austin's not far from Austin. Austin's centrally located.
Even like, I haven't been to Chicago yet, right? When I go to Chicago, I'm gonna get the deep dish. I'm gonna go check out deep dish pizza. I'm gonna go check out their beach. What's it called? The Bean or something? I forgot what it's called off whenever I get there. But when I go to Detroit, I love Motown records. Like, I love those bands from the 1960s, like Smokey Robinson, The Miracles, Temptations, Four Tops. So when I go to Detroit, I'm gonna go check out Hitsville, USA. these are things that I love to do. So I don't know if that makes me extra, but that's just the type of stuff that I like. So then I don't mind flying out and going there and seeing it for myself.
Yeah. Well, back to what we were saying, but I think that young men are just sick of feminism. Young
It's
men are,
good that they see it because we're talking about from the age ranges of 18 to 25, right? Roughly.
no, I'm talking about from 18 to 45.
Oh, oh, okay.
Yeah, because I think men are just because the thing, men want the women, but the women are being told that the men are not good enough for them. So that's why and Donald Trump came through, and he started saying we're gonna, you're, he just started making people believe in themselves. Just it was weird too. I'm just like, I mean, I don't know. It took Donald Trump to make you to believe in yourself, but okay. Here's what
He
it
was the
was.
businessman, and they told him, "You're just a businessman. You can't be the president." Or
That's
that's one thing. That's one thing.
that's not what it is. Donald Trump was the counter narrative. Donald Trump was everything that they hated. Donald Trump was a man that represented power and and unapologetically a man, and that's what they don't want. So he gave all these men a voice. They're like, you know what? It's okay that I'm a man. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay that I like pretty girls. It's okay that I have my type. I'm gonna rock out.
It's okay that I'm a shooter.
Yeah. So they were like, I'm going to, I'm gonna side with Trump, or I'm gonna go with his side. They don't most people don't understand policy. Most people don't understand how this whole feminist thing is still goes back to economics. They don't understand that everything that we've been indoctrinated with is about economics. It's all about economic viability. The American dream is entrepreneurship and land ownership. That's the real American dream. And, and a man that has his own business and has his own land, you can't tell him shit.
Exactly.
You can't tell him nothing. You know, even if he's just making a middle class lifestyle, if the land is his, you can't kick him off his own land. So he represented power, and that is what they don't want. All the feminists I knew, all the feminists that I know, they hate Donald Trump, and they don't even know why. They have no idea why they hate him. So men saw him and they're like, well, they hate him, so I want to like him. And I think it's kind of stupid, but I understand, I get it. But the point is, men are sick of women getting away with everything and there being no consequences to them. That's why we have the manosphere. And it's just an overcorrection because they get to where they hate women. And
Yes, because
and you
they're literally the counterpart of feminism at this point. They're literally like neck to neck.
yeah, and I mean it's just the manosphere is feminism.
It
It's
is.
feminism because what do they advocate for? Do they advocate for marriage? No. They
They're
say don't marry.
advocating for abortion at this point, messing with fresh.
They say don't marry whores, but they marry whores.
That's all
So
they when they be on the yacht parties and they be partying and like mediocre tutorials. All of them, they're bunching all women in the category of being modern 304, being feminist, and it's disgusting. And like I said, I don't care if I get called a feminist for this. What they're doing is wrong. It's very degenerate. And like I said, but when they come to their downfall or whatever, I'm not blaming the Democrats and the left for their behavior. I'm blaming the right. I could care less if I'm a conservative myself. The red pill conservatives, the right, they endorsed, they okayed and enabled these manosphere guys. They're all in cahoots, and they're all saying the same talking points at the very least.
when you
So
when you say they're right, like what do you mean by that?
the right. Like it could be conservatives, it could be red pill, it could be
What
maybe
is
some of them
conser-
are Republican, not necessarily Republican,
what
but just
what is
even like with Charlie Kirk. Like I like Charlie Kirk, but when he's talking about like women shouldn't like he's saying that they get devalued in their 30s, they're all spewing out the same rhetoric. These
I,
people, they're all having the same
I
talking points.
I get what he's saying. There's some truth to what he's saying, but reality is nuanced. The thing is the crux of what he's saying is don't waste your 20s being a hoe. That's that's what I'm getting from it.
Well, that's true. That's 100% true.
But
But
what are they telling? What are they telling women? Oh, just live your life. Find yourself. Don't be tied down. That's what they tell young women.
I when I was in my young 20s, I wanted to be tied down, and I did that. But now I'm backwards. I don't know. I'm always backwards. I'm like, in my 30s and single as all.
I
So,
think a lot of y'all had the right idea with the wrong person,
hmm
and that's why I advocate for arranged marriages because I no for real, I wanted a wife at 20 years old. I did, but I wasn't around people that wanted a husband. So
as a
you
woman,
know,
like I wanted to be just I wanted my man. I wanted children. Like when I'm in my young 20s, and 24, had my baby, and I thought we were gonna be together forever, and you know that's what I wanted. Like I don't know, like in my even before I met my daughter's father, like I just when I was 20, 21, 22, I just craved that. Like I wanted to be with a man. I wanted to be like the only thing is that I didn't want marriage. I was a dumbass. I was like, oh, it's the government, it's a piece of paper, and I didn't want we're doing a prenup, we're doing I don't know. I was young and stupid. I didn't want nothing that will penalize a man or do I don't know. I just wanted to be in love with a man and have children
but
and
that's marriage.
yeah. I'm
That's marriage.
just saying whatever the word is, I did have that desire. That's what I'm saying. I wanted to be in love with a man and have children and
You wanted a husband.
well, yeah, but I didn't demand marriage, if that makes sense.
You
I didn't have standards and
you,
boundaries the way I do now
you didn't
at that age
you did
when I was,
you didn't demand commitment.
that sounds right.
Commitment is marriage. Like com, marriage is not that piece of paper that you go down to the courthouse to get. I don't understand how we can give, or I don't understand how a government that says it's okay for two things that don't belong together to get married, they have no jurisdiction over whether I can get married or not. So, whether I go to the courthouse or not, that has nothing to do with marriage.
That's what
If
I'm saying. That's what like everything you literally just said, that was my mentality in my
but
Mhm.
but that's still that's my mentality. I'm just saying, like, if you and I were to get together, my thing is okay. Let's go to a minister, and a minister can marry us, and then we can get our own little certificate of marriage or whatever to certify that we can go down to the notary public, and then just we get it notarized.
Sign off. Yep.
Yeah, and then we're married. But for me to go to the courthouse and say that the state can actually has the right to pronounce us husband and wife, like they don't have that right. That right doesn't belong to them. That right,
So you're saying that it should be let's say like you're the man. The man, I guess, asks the woman for marriage, right? You're saying it's all in the core of the commitment, right? Like woman should want the commitment from the man.
yeah.
That should be the staple, if I'm saying it right. I'm
That
just trying to see what you're saying.
no. So
To have a husband, what should that man be? what should the woman desire and get from that man? What makes it? Because if we're not talking about the government and the notary or the pastor or whatever the case may be, what makes that marriage or
What
that union
certifies the marriage?
official?
What
Hmm.
does what does the man owe the woman in a
Hmm.
marriage? Okay, hold on. Let me look right quick. Give me 1 second, because I read this earlier.
No, because I was trying to go. You were saying commitment, so I just wanted to get into that. Like, what is that? The commitment, like what is the core of it?
Because the thing is, with every commitment, something is owed. Give me 1 second. 1 second. I'm gonna find this. You got any elevator music?
But I
Give me 1 second.
think it kind of goes back to what you said earlier when you were talking about if a man has sex with a woman, if he can't even see himself reproducing with her, he should take proper repercussions, right? He should be more cautious. So I think with commitment in marriage, you should definitely want to be like, you should be able as a man or as a woman, vice versa, when you're together, like I want to be with this man, I want to be with this woman, like this is my life partner. And you can see that sooner rather than later. Like, but who am I? I'm single, so I don't know.
Okay, so I found it. It said if a man takes another wife, her food, her clothes, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. So so at minimum, a man is supposed to provide you food and clothing. And it says duty of marriage. I guess I'm assuming that's sexual, because I even thought about that the other day, because I don't think it's right for a woman to go without, if a woman is in a if a woman is in a relationship with a man, or she's in a marriage with a man, I don't think it's right for the man to not give her a child. I don't think that. I think that's kind of cruel. It like, if he's pulling out, he's pulling. There's a story in the Bible of a man, he pulled out and spilled his seed on the floor, and then he died because of that. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
What was his name?
O Onan, 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 I think. But yeah, so, and then also, see, the thing is, a lot of women sell themselves for cheap. A lot of women don't demand anything. I think that a man should pay a price for his woman. I think it should be customary for a man to give the family of his wife something to take her, because that's real. You know, you value the things that you pay for, and y'all, a lot of y'all just kind of, y'all don't demand anything for yourselves.
So what
They're
should he
supposed.
pay her family?
Well, I mean, back in the day, it was like 2 goats, or like 5 goats, 5 cows, or a plot of land, or you had to pay a bridal price. You had to pay something.
From the
You know, it,
man to the father,
yeah,
right? To the
or
bride's father.
to her family. Because
That should come back. That should make a comeback.
it should. Because y'all don't really value yourselves, because nobody has to pay anything for y'all. A man,
That's true.
a great price for his bride. So
If you want me, give my family 2 goats.
at minimum, some car or some something, or even you can pay it off over time. That's the beauty of children. You can even give your child a name that denotes the promise to pay to the family. That child's name could be a monument something. I don't know. You can name your child Dowry or something like that, and you can be like, hey, don't when later on you can be like the woman's family can be like, hey, you never paid us. You're like, I never agreed to pay y'all. He's like, well, the child's name is Dowry. You agreed to pay us. That's the reminder. Stuff like that. But in this part of the world, we just name our children anything, things that don't mean anything. We just name children things that sound good, but just have no meaning. So I don't know, but
You know why I asked you, with the young men? I know you're saying you're going from 18 to 45, and I was talking about 18 to 25. Because
yeah,
what it seems like to me with the young men leaning towards the right, it's like they're already, like, because they're in it, right? So they have the chance right now, whether it's technology, social media, or whatever. They're seeing how their peers and women are moving. They see it, like the 18 to the 25-year-olds. Whereas from 25 to not even 20, like, let's say from like the men that are like 30 to 45, they're in too deep, if that makes sense.
into
The 18 in too deep with how what women have been doing, not just the past 4 years, but just, I don't know, maybe the past 15 years. So like the 30 to 45-year-old dudes that, whatever, relationships didn't last, maybe they weren't equally yoked with these women, not mentally or whatever the case. But these 18 to 25-year-olds, they're seeing this. Like, let's say right now, for the past 10 years, and a man's between the age of 30 to 45, he's been gradually waking up to different things, what, like feminism and how women have been treating him bad or whatever the case may be. But right now, the 18 to 25-year-olds, they have a chance and they're leaning right. They're going in the right direction overall. They're not into deep. They're not as seasoned as a 30 to 45-year-old male, where that's in age, relationship experience. So they're 18 to 25 years old, and in their young age as men, young boys, they're seeing what's going on and they're choosing to go the right direction, while women, young girls 18 to 25, they're being liberal. So these young boys, who knows, maybe they might end up with older women, I don't know,
no,
but
they won't.
they won't.
No, because what did we establish earlier? Sex validates y'all's behavior. If these guys set a standard for themselves, the women are gonna have to adhere to the standard. They're gonna have to conform to that standard. If women start getting ignored, if it because I don't give attention to the things I don't like. If a woman comes and she don't come right, I'm gonna ignore her. I'm gonna act like she doesn't even exist. She gonna have to straighten herself up if she wants to. If she wants my attention.
But that's the sexual dynamic. I'm talking about, like, if a man, well, I consider 18-year-olds as babies, both girls and boys, but these 18-year-old males, 18 to 25, if they have conservative ideology and it's all mental, and it's not to necessarily say that they're a virgin, I don't know, whatever, but if they're not trying to deal with these young women that are liberal in age, they might want, like, I'm not saying that they want an old woman. I'm saying, like, they probably, like, I don't know, they might deal with, like, they're 18 to 25. They might deal with, like, I don't know, 28, 30 years old, like just a woman that has more, doesn't, conservative ideology. And don't be surprised if you see
Women,
that, because it's mental. It's not about sex.
it's not about sex. It's not. I'm not saying it's about sex at all. Especially with y'all. Y'all just want attention. Y'all just want to be seen. But if men start ignoring women that don't have the qualities that they desire, the women are gonna go out and try to get those qualities. Why do you think we have all these stupid BBLs? Because these celebrities have these celebrities have women that have these BBLs and stuff like that. The average man don't really care, but that's what they're seeing. They're seeing men that they desire, or the type of man that they desire want this type of woman. So they go out there and try to be that type of woman. When when that's half the time that man doesn't even like women. Period.
Exactly.
Look at this whole Diddy situation. I mean, we all knew how he was getting down. So I mean, that's nothing new.
And then
That's not.
you got black culture. He done. he disabled his comments at one point, and he was hiding who liked his pictures. Now he put it back open. He enabled his comments, and you got people like, oh yeah, Stevie J is riding out with him. He's not going to turn his back on him. Like, you really got people in the black community. I know you're not shocked, that are just, they're gonna act like it's nothing, like nothing happened. Why?
Yeah,
Why am I shocked? Because I guess I'm still working on my discernment, but
yeah,
you still got black folks. They're gonna act like Diddy ain't do nothing wrong.
yeah. What these niggas
I I hear you, answer you. It broke up at one point, but I hear you.
Can you see me though?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Somebody was calling me, but
What was you
yeah,
about to say?
I don't care what these niggas do. Like that's I don't care. They're of no consequence to me. Like I really don't care. Like I wish they would go away. I hate hip hop culture. I can't stand it.
Nah, like it was. I don't know what. Like there were pictures of like he's in Miami and black women are running up to him, taking pictures with him. Yeah, these are women with BBLs and stuff, and just I'm not surprised.
He doesn't like women.
I know.
That's the crazy thing. So I think everybody's just being deceived by all these standards. All these standards that these women said that they want. Like they're lying. Like they're like a lot of them are lying. They're talking about you gotta be 6 foot tall and have six figures, and they're lying.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
They'll
I get annoyed when women do that. I get so annoyed. Like he has to be 6 figures and 6 feet tall. Okay, so when a man has his preferences, don't be mad at him.
but they're lying. They'll
Hmm?
they're lying though. A lot of women will talk to the first guy that talks. Well, I won't say the first guy that talks to them, but especially nowadays when a lot of women are just being ignored or guys don't approach women anymore. Women will talk to anybody. All you gotta do is just be able to speak. So I don't know. It's all just I don't know. It's a dirty game out here. But yeah, yeah.
So young men are leaning towards the right because they see what time it is.
No, because they're sick of feminism, and the left supports feminism. So
So that's the answer to that.
that's why they're leaning. That's why they're leaning right. They don't, but they still don't understand the way to turn things around is win in this life. Win and be economically successful. You don't have to be super rich, but just be able to call your own shots, and you'll win. Because
I agree.
women don't. The ultimate flex for a woman on other women is to point to that ring. They can be like, "Bitch, I'm married. Where your man at?" and that they'll usually shut them down. So they if more men started had the confidence and the courage to actually approach women because they weren't scared of the rejection or I don't have enough money. A lot of women are going to start falling in line because a lot of women are single and miserable. Women don't like being single. I don't care what they say. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all don't like being single.
I'm out here acting like Amanda Sales, aren't I? Or I'm about to get there.
Nah, she's crazy. I think she's mentally ill.
Because Blanche did a video the other day. He was talking about in another 5 years we're gonna see her go crazy. I don't think it's gonna take 5 years. I think she's already on that lapse right now.
She's been crazy.
Yeah, that's just in her.
She's
That's just her.
she's mentally. I think something's wrong with her. I really do believe it. Something's wrong with her. Like I remember I was with this chick. She kind of like was like Amanda Seals, and we were swimming, and I was we were swimming, so I was trying to get close and stuff like that, and this bitch in the face. I, I was
She was like playing.
she like,
Why did she pinch?
she said, "Don't touch me," and She pinched me.
What was that all about?
I don't know. Man, don't put your hands on me like that.
Like she caught you off guard, and you, yeah, like that's what's gonna happen. Like she pinched you. What she thought was gonna like you was just gonna be normal.
I don't know, but I was wet
Where did
and
she pinch you?
she pinched me in my like my side. That
Yeah,
shit hurt too.
that's the awkward. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then what happened after that?
I just said I said don't be putting your hands on me like that. I said don't put your hands on me like that. She's like, well, I didn't tell you to touch me. I was like, shit, fine. I won't touch you. Yeah, this is when I was like in my early
Did
20s.
she like have random like moments like that with you? I don't know. Like, did she remind you of Amanda Seales in a sense of like just bugging out, like like randomly?
Yes.
1 minute this, next minute
Yeah, she
that.
was
Well, all females are 1 minute this, one
no.
minute that.
No, 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 no. 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 Something was wrong with her. She was like bipolar or something like that. I mean, like I've had functional interactions with women, and it wasn't like that. You know, you don't, and then to say that she liked me, kind of like she was like really into me, but then she didn't want me to touch her. I was like, man, you better go on somewhere.
Uh, I hope I don't get there. Like, I'm not trying to be like Amanda Seales. I don't want to get there. You know, she's different. Like, she's like, I did my homework. I did my research on Black history, and this is what the Black
Anyway,
community does to me
I don't,
when I did my
I
research.
don't want to talk. Anyway, what else you got? What else you got?
Oh, so within the the battle of the sexes, like we're at a total disconnect as men and women, right? How, if you were to have a percentage of men, how many men do you think are gay? And I know it's a weird question, but that plays a huge, component in this situation.
Golly, I don't even know how to answer that. Like, that's just not something I think about.
Because
But
there's a lot of, when I look at the comments, like it could be, for instance, like the Shade Room or anything, or what's it called, Neighborhood Talk, or one of these big platforms or whatever. And there's like different situations, different pictures that they upload. It could be like, oh, this celebrity, like, what's his name? Like Tyga and that guy when they was driving down LA and they was dressed up like white chicks and when I was looking at Tyga, I was like, he was like into like, okay, he had the makeup, the wig, the blonde wig, or whatever. Or there's like celebrities or even like Diddy, but people always have speculation of Diddy. Just different guys that are like, what's his name? Chance the Rapper's brother was openly talking about how he's bisexual. It's just like all these things going on. So I say that to say that when I look at the comments with women, they're like, all guys are gay. That's what women are. A lot of women are thinking this nowadays, and I think I might be one of them.
you think I'm
No,
gay?
no, 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 hell no,
Well,
not all, not no, 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 no. When they're saying all guys are gay, I was you didn't let me finish. When they're saying all guys are gay, I don't think they literally mean 100%. I think they're thinking in high numbers. I just don't know the number. I don't know the percentage. But I think there's a lot of gay men out there
why?
more than
Why do you think that?
uh I think it's a mixture of um because women are so easy and they make things so easy, like sexually. They just like it kind of goes into what you said a few minutes ago, like women don't even know their worth or value themselves. They just give it up too easy. And I'm talking about in the sexual angle at this point. And some of these guys just have sex with a lot of women and the dopamine effect wears off. I know I've talked about this before, and they go to men. Or I don't know if the prostate theory is true. I don't know. That men's spot is in the prostate. I don't know. I don't know because I'm not a man. Um, but I do have concerns about that. Like, you even have stories of men being married, and it's not just black men. It could be white men and Latino men. Just men. Period. Um, that they could have full-fledged wife and they'll do undercover acts having sex with men, and it's just different things going on. I'm not trying to be like
That that's one of your
a
concerns?
lot of women are concerned about this. Yes, I am concerned about that.
Shit, I don't know. I don't
Not
like. I
that you
just that
care for you guys. Like I
no.
how do I say?
I'm
I'm
just
saying in the disconnect of men and women. That's the purpose of why I'm asking that. Like, because we're talking about battle of the sexes, right? So that's just like one component. It's not the biggest, but
so. Are you asking me what percentage of men do I think is gay?
mm-hmm.
I I couldn't answer that. I don't know. Like
I
I
know you
don't really.
don't know, you don't care. I
Yeah,
get it
I
because
just
that's not your issue.
I was okay. So let me. If a man has if a man is over sexual, if he's overly sexual, then he has the propensity to cross over into that and to sampling something. I'll say that if he has no kind of control over his sexual urges, because we're all men, we just have to time like we wake up with a heart on if we're healthy. So if we're healthy, we see something we like, it's going to be arousing to some level,
That's
but
normal.
that doesn't mean that I go and
And do it.
I got that doesn't
Yeah,
go and gotta have it. So if you see a man that can't control his sexual urges, then I would say he has a propensity to he's
dabble
the
into different
yeah
things.
he's the type that will get caught up with a tranny.
Yes,
So does that answer your question?
that goes into the hypersexual culture that I was speaking about a few moments back. So
Yeah. So I funny because I don't know. That goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like y'all just like to me, women just give it up. Like
that's what I'm saying.
they just
Exactly.
giving it away like it's donuts out here. Like it's
Yeah. So it's like when women is giving it up easy, especially the guy that he could get pussy real easy. Like he just have sex with all these different women or whatever. After a while, he gets tired of that, and then liberal media is telling him that men that dress up like women are women, and then he feel like he got an excuse in his head, like try to act like you're not messing with a man, and you are messing with a man, and then ultimately he goes to the manly man. It just seems like I don't know. I was about to say something I should say, but I was about to say everybody wants the manly man, but that's not true.
yeah. I never even heard that, but I don't live in this realm of wild, uncontrollable, anything goes. Like if my world is boring. Like I just if somebody came to see me, the only thing I can do is tell them jokes all day, and they'll be entertained. But like I don't have like wild, thrilling adventure. I don't do all that type of stuff.
There's
I,
that
I just don't.
question like, what's more powerful, penis or pussy? And I think penis is powerful. I still, I just, I don't know.
I
I
mean,
think I think men are the prize.
I hope you do think that is powerful because I mean, I hope you the other one is. But I mean, if that's how you
No,
get
dude,
down.
I think men are the prize. I just
Why
do
do you think that?
because they are.
What what makes what I'm saying? Like why? Why?
They're strong. They're manly. They're I don't know. Just I don't know. Men are the prize.
Well, men go to war for women.
Yeah, well, they're strong. I'm talking about men in their natural essence. They're manly, strong, handsome. Just I don't know. Men are the prize.
Well, I mean that's. I'm just. I mean, I'm not taking a side on that. I'm just asking why, because like I
Why are
said earlier, like
women the
you
prize?
said
Why
what?
are
I
women
didn't
the prize.
say they were, but I'll say this.
That's because they're not. Women are not the prize.
I didn't say they were, but
No,
if,
I know
I
you
didn't
didn't.
say they weren't neither. But if women disappear, then I'd probably just like I'm like, man, like nah,
Exactly.
I ain't. I'm not
If
living.
men disappeared, like what's the use of me being like? What's the use? Like I can't deal with women because women are the devil, you know. So I can't deal with women. Like men are calm, they're manly, their voice of reasoning, they're the men, their solutions, not only in physical aspects, but men like they're smarter, cook better. It's just men are the prize. They're better at math, you know, better at
So
directions. It's just
what are women good at? What are women better at? What do women bring if men are all
we
that?
talked in our live 2 weeks ago. They don't even have the nurturing anymore. They suck. They suck. What? They suck. They're the devil. Not
Oh,
me. I'm different.
oh my goodness. That's hilarious.
What?
Well,
I'm telling you the truth.
I guess.
I'm not
I guess.
saying a woman can't cook and there's no such thing as math teachers, but I couldn't stand my math teachers. I like to have male math teachers because, you know, men are just better at math and they're better at directions. Directions is math, you know?
Yes, spatial awareness or spatial awareness.
Spatial of the spatial part of the brain, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the hippocampus.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but I mean, if that's what you think, I mean,
That's what I know.
well, I mean, hey, if that's how you rock, and you know, I'm not gonna try to convince you otherwise. So it's
I don't say it. I say it's a man's world instead. It's easier to understand that as a man.
you know, I love that James Brown song. This is man's world.
But it'll be nothing without a woman. And you kind of just said that a little while. You were saying like hypothetically if women were gone, like James Brown was right when he said that though.
Yeah. He said a man is lost in bitterness.
hmm
He's lost in the wilderness, and he's lost in bitterness with that women.
And women, I think it goes both ways. Despite the battle of the sexes and all these crazy things that we're seeing and the disconnect, trust me, men and women need each other. That's just bottom line, no matter what the situation is. Like
Yeah,
men and women, we need each other. That's a
yeah,
fact.
yeah. Men are lost in bitterness and wilderness, and women just lost. I
It's what about Amanda Seals? Isn't she bitterness and slitherness too?
want to
So
talk more. I want to talk about.
no, but I'm saying she's a good example.
She's not well mentally.
You're not gonna call her a cartoon character, are you?
I mean, she fits all. She fits the description. She's like Wile E. Coyote.
What, Cruella Deville?
She's like Wile E. Coyote.
Oh my god.
Just chasing some. Just chasing something that she can't catch.
I can't believe she done blocked me and Talib Kweli done blocked me. I,
That's
I
cool.
didn't do nothing wrong.
What value? They don't bring no value to your life.
They don't. They don't bring value to black people neither, as they think they do. Even
Yeah, I don't.
though she read all her books and she has her degree, okay.
Yeah, I don't care about all that. Some of the dumbest people I know have
But
degrees.
do you notice like Amanda Seals?
I
Like,
want to talk about her.
okay, five. But do you notice people of her caliber or people with their degrees? Not everybody that has a degree, but I'm talking about like the liberal-minded people with degrees, men and women. They'll be like, even like I was just on a Twitter space a little while ago. Like this dude was like he couldn't answer the question of whether white privilege exists or not, and somewhere in there he was beating around the bush and he was saying, "Oh yeah, I'm a math teacher. I've been a math teacher for 24 years." Like, why do they do? Like, I mean, I know why they do it, but it's just it'd be the people with degrees that if they talk like that, not all, but if they're talking like that, they're like the liberals and they're like, "Oh, I have my degree," and okay, what the fuck that got to do with the conversation that we talk about now?
Yeah, that whole degree thing, that people think that it gives them more credence.
Status. Hmm
Believe me, I have my degree. Believe me. You know, I say that sometimes. I'm like, I studied this, that, and this, but you don't have to take my word for it.
Yeah,
But
doesn't
like,
mean shit.
what? I say that just to say that I'm just not a guy that's just talking. Like these are things that I.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody was calling me, so I think I don't know if my screen went out, but yeah. So I say that sometimes, like when the whole COVID lies were going on, I just tell people like, look, I studied these things. Like this was what my degree was in. I tell them I studied immunology, I studied microbiology, I studied molecular biology, I studied all that. I studied biochemistry.
And
You
you studied
know,
that before COVID.
yeah, I studied that before COVID, and even more, I study it for fun. I just like it. I'm interested in that stuff.
I
It
gotta take the microbiology course. Is it really hard?
hell yeah.
What
that,
what is it about? Like, what is the course? What is it like? What's like the syllabus of that? Like, what
what's
is
the
it in? Like,
what's the gist of it?
yeah,
The gist of it is bacteria. You know, bacteria, whether how they behave or
like molecules and stuff like that.
just bacteria. Molecules are not necessarily alive. Like bacteria are living organisms. They're just single cell organisms. So we learn a lot about life by how bacteria behave. For instance, they say that if bacteria, well, it is true. If bacteria doesn't have food, that they won't proliferate. But then the thing is, how does bacteria proliferate? What causes bacteria to proliferate? Dead tissue. Bacteria grows where there's dead tissue. The job of bacteria is to break down dead tissue. So if you have a bacterial infection, you have dying tissue in you somewhere.
So the test when you take microbiology tests,
Hmm.
it's like biology. It's not nothing mathematic in there.
No,
It's biology,
yeah, it's just biology. It's concepts. Like
concepts, terms,
what?
or concepts in terms, or I don't know. I be hearing nursing
All right.
students. They talk about the microbiology, human anatomy and physiology, one and part two. I've heard nursing students say like each of those three classes, like microbiology, human anatomy, physiology, one and two. I've heard them say like they done took 3 or 4 classes before, like it could be sociology, English, and math. Let's just say, but they be saying like they just take the human anatomy, physiology, just one class for this semester, and then they'd be like the microbiology one class this semester.
Yeah, in microbiology, it's for me at this point in my life, it wouldn't be hard, but at the time, it's just all about understanding what you're trying to understand.
So they're not bugging when they just like, even though they done took 3 4 classes every other semester in that one microbiology or human anatomy physiology, they're not like over exaggerating about how complex those courses are, to just be like, oh, this semester I'm just going to take this one class. Like they feel like that's all they can handle
Yeah,
for the load.
they're not upon first introduction of it. It is kind of like you're like, man, what the heck is this?
Mm-hmm.
It because for instance, like it's something called like we're aerobic organisms.